This first news story comes to us from IGN, written by Ryan Dinsdale. Xbox is moving full speed ahead on next-gen console. Microsoft is moving full speed ahead on its next-generation console. An internal email from Xbox President Sarah Bond has revealed. The email, obtained by Windows Central and verified to be genuine by Microsoft, also announced the formation of a game preservation team at Xbox. We're moving full speed ahead on our next-generation hardware, focused on delivering the biggest technological leap ever in a generation, Bond said, reiterating comments made in February when the console's existence was officially announced. No further information was shared regarding the hardware itself, nor when fans might be able to buy it, but documents leaked in 2023 suggested Microsoft plans to release the next Xbox in 2028. Regardless, with Microsoft seemingly making its development a priority, it will likely be available sooner rather than later. Alongside it, looking to the future, Xbox also appears committed to the past and present. We have formed a new team dedicated to game preservation, important to all of us at Xbox and the industry itself, Bond said in an email. We are building on our strong history of delivering backwards compatibility to our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy. While game preservation is largely concerned with ensuring classic titles don't become lost to time, it's ironically the current generation of games which may be most at risk due to online requirements and digital formats. Live service games are often unplayable without an internet connection, so when servers are shut down, they have disappeared for good. Microtransactions being available, even in single-player modes, can also force online requirements, and several other games therefore face a similar issue. Adrian, what are your thoughts on this? Seemingly that they're ready to move on. They've lost this war. Let's move forward to the next thing. Do you think that's a good idea? And then do you think we're going to see the Series S and X suffer because of it? I guess that's my concern. If they move on too quickly, is the current gen going to suffer?
I mean, is it not already suffering now? You know?
Good.
I mean, when you got rumors of developers asking why are we even supporting, the Xbox version, it's kind of like, oof, yeah, that's not a good look.
That is true.
I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It's just the way that companies work, right? So what a lot of people don't think about is, like, for example, we'll say Sony. When Sony put out PS5, they were already starting production or pre-production or planning for PlayStation 6, right? You have to do that. As a worldwide multi-billion-dollar operation, you have to have a forecast of the projects that you have coming out over, the next years. So that way everybody can get on the same page. You can coordinate everything together. You can have a plan for your shareholders, all that. So I'm not surprised that Xbox is already working on their next system. I feel like they've already been working on it and just haven't been saying anything. It's nice to hear, confirmed, of course, well, not necessarily confirmed to the public, but like that they're talking about it internally. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that this news is going to hurt any more than it already can. Like, Xbox is already hurting, regardless of what they say. They're being outsold, 3-1, I think is it for PlayStation?
Like that. Yeah, something like that. Crazy.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I respect it. Just like when Phil came out and said, yeah, we're taking the L on this one. And they know they are. They're, as far as, hardware is concerned. But their battle's not really there. Which is weird because actually, now that I think about it, this feels like kind of double speak, right? Because Phil and them are always like, oh, well, we're our big thing is in services. We really want to push services. Well, if you're trying to push services, why are you talking about this next Xbox as the biggest technological jump?
Why are you worried about it
ever?
The system when everything's going to be services and cloud-based, right? Like, that's, yeah.
Right. So are you still like focused on pushing hardware, or are you trying to push services? Because which one? You can't tell me you're 100% behind both things.
Yeah, it does almost feel like the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing kind of thing. But at the same time, I get why they're focusing on both, because I feel like they do have to, right? Because no matter what, PlayStation and Nintendo are always going to be putting out a console. So to be somewhat relevant, they have to have something to put out. But you're right. It still is contradictory. Like on one side, it's like it's all about the services and the cloud, and the other side's like we're going to give you the most technologically advanced console ever. It's like, okay.
So which one is it? Xbox. Which one is it?
Where are we going with this? And honestly, I mean, it's just them. They're just stuck in the past and present right now. It's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's like there's not the past and present, the past and the future. They're stuck between the past and the future, where they still need to appeal to gamers who have that past mindset where they still want the consoles and they still want all this stuff, and then the future where they're like they're ready to move on. Like it's almost like they want to move on, they want to be done, but they know they technically can't because that's not realistic. You know, there's still so many consumers out there who do just want a box, you know.
Right. And so, I'm one of them. I don't mind having a nice box, right? Yeah. But I would like for you to let me know, you know, if this is the direction you intend on going before I buy this. That would be nice.
Right, exactly. Before you move forward and buy another box and then find out, oh, I didn't need this because I could have just used my phone.
Right.
With your backbone. Or just stream it through an app on your TV or whatever it might be.
Right. I could have put that $500 towards the TV to just stream it off of and had a better TV and still been able to play Xbox games. So
Exactly. It's interesting too about the comment about game preservation as well. They're putting together a team. I thought they already had one because I mean, again, they've kind of championed that out of all of them. Nintendo, Sony, like Xbox has done the best with protecting like those older games. So it's interesting to me that they didn't already have a team put together. But I think that's great. I don't know what that means then. Like it would be nice. I'm excited to hear like an official update, be like, hey, here's what we're actually doing and how we're going to do it. Like, are they going to create virtual machines where you can still play like online with these things, but like make like faux local internet or local servers or something that people can play off of, where it's all online, but it's set up as like I don't know. Yeah, I'm just curious because in the article they talk about like how online games are like every game basically is an online game nowadays. Even single player games are online still. Like you got to connect for different things. Yep. So game preservation is going to get trickier and trickier. I'm curious how they're going to work their way around that. If that is in fact what their team's going to be working on, but
likely. When I volunteered at so there's a museum out here that kind of is literally when I talk about game preservation, these guys are who I think of, right? I volunteered at them out in Oakland over here, and
I always wanted to go to that when I lived up in Modesto. I was like, I'm so close, like an hour and a half away, and I never did it. I'm so bummed.
That place was that is awesome. It's still around, but the way that they did it is they somehow would get the source code of the game and then create their own internal servers for the game to be able to be played within the museum. So that way you could still experience what the online component of a game would have been like.
Right.
And I thought that was amazing. So that's probably what's going to end up having to be done going forward. It's just, you know, when a game or when a system or console is not supported, maybe Microsoft can, you know, to certain entities, like them or what is the other one? The Gaming Foundation or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember.
Maybe they could provide source code to them for preservation's sake, and then those teams can take it and re-engineer it to do their own internal servers at the museum. So that way somebody has it.
Yeah. I feel like that has to be the answer there. Like that has to. I can't imagine any other way because Microsoft isn't going to foot the bill for that either. Like they're not going to want to pay for that. They're going to be like, oh, we're going to it's one thing to preserve the games, another thing to then continue to support servers for people to play on. Like I don't know. I feel like it's like who's going to pay for that in the long run? You know, Microsoft's still a business. They got to make money. So
right.
But I don't know. this is all just very interesting news. I guess what I want to cap it off with is I'm excited for the official announcement because again, all of this has been leaks and rumors. When are we going to get the official statement from Xbox saying not even about the main console, but again, like it'd be cool to hear about whatever their next plans are. Like give us an actual what do they call it? Like a map looking forward, a roadmap looking forward. Yeah. Letting us know like, hey, here's what we're working on, whether it's about their services, whether it's about their consoles. And then, yeah, give me more about this backwards compatibility team. What does this even look like? Because this is all cool news, but until we hear what the actual, like, their purposes behind these things, it's all just, you know.
my thing would be, if I'm Sarah and I'm starting this up and I want people to take us seriously, I would come out with like a show of commitment to it, right? Like, this is the new backwards compatibility or the game preservation team, and we are serious about preservation. And to prove it to you, we are in the process of 100% preserving every single original Microsoft published Xbox game and allowing it to be, you know, put on Game Pass or something of that nature. You know what I mean? Or able to be purchased on the Microsoft Store, something like that. I think that would go a long way to actually show that they're doing something as far as game preservation is concerned. And they have a lot of original Xbox titles already, but this would be, to me, a good show of faith that, yeah, every Microsoft original Xbox and Xbox 360 game that would, you know, Microsoft published is going to be preserved and is going to be available on Game Pass or to purchase on the Microsoft Game Store.
That would be amazing. Yeah, if they just start bringing them all to Game Pass, like, hey, here's our classic library, similar to what PlayStation did, but hopefully they do it better because PlayStation has their classic catalog. And
don't get me started on that piece of
trash.
The one they add like two games to every 3 months.
It's all trash. It's so sad.
Good grief.
Because there's so many great classic PlayStation games, and like they have a few good ones on there, but they could have so many more, and they just don't even try over there. So yeah, if they had a classic collection like catalog over on Game Pass, where it's a bunch of retro games coming, or not retro, but just like back catalog games from original Xbox, 360, whatever it might be. Oh, that would be so good. That'd be so good. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.